Good afternoon. My name is Garrett Forney, and we are in Ceasar, Mississippi. It is a small community a few miles east of Picayune, Mississippi. Behind me, we have our family lake. It's about 13 acres in size. About 400 acres, if I'm not mistaken, drains into the lake. And what it drains to afterwards, if you can see behind me, there is a dam back there. It drains out the other side of the dam. It goes into a small creek or swampy area called Playground Branch, which drains westward into Mill Creek, which goes south and drains into the Catahoula, if I'm not mistaken. The Catahoula goes into the Jordan River, not the Jordan River of Israel, but the one here in southern Mississippi, the Jordan River that flows into the Bay of St. Louis. Now, on the mention that there is about 400 acres that drain into the lake, obviously, there's some interesting hydrological features here, and we can take a look at those today. Okay, we have some of our harder soils, and it is on a slope, so water does not infiltrate quite as easily here. Instead, it tends to run off in this area, especially when we have a heavy rain, long duration rain. If we've been using the water hose for an extraordinarily long time, it can happen that way. And hopefully you can see where the leaves have piled up during heavy amounts of runoff. Over that way, we have our hydrangea bed, and we have monkey grass planted all the way around it as a border to keep flowing water out. However, that does not stop the underground percolation that happens here. One day, I was digging a hole in the hydrangea bed, and I got so many inches down, probably 8 to 10 inches, and I hit where there was an actual pour on the scale of centimeters, and water started pouring into my hole, and I could not complete it that particular day. Here we are at the dam. This particular angle is looking down the side of the dam at the water. As you can see, there's a fairly steep slope that is causing some channels here, causing some relatively deep channels as water has flowed down the side of the dam. I'm guessing that the soil here is significantly softer than the soil back by my hydrangea bed. This may not be as significant to the processes of runoff and erosion. However, I did want to point this out. This is our lake's main outlet, our drainage pipe. Hopefully, you can see that water is flowing out of it at this time, just barely, but enough. This is the area that actually drains into the Playground Branch that I mentioned earlier. Behind me, you can see a sort of swampy area. This is actually on one of the paths, and I actually did not know that this was here when I set out to make these videos. However, I can tell you that for the water to be like this, there would have to be a lot of soil moisture. It must have reached its infiltration capacity, and just the underground has not drained like it needs to for this water to go away. Now I'm going to have to find out how to get my truck unstuck.